Hello everyone, I'm Paula Gilbert, the editor of Connecting Africa, and we're here at Africa Tech Festival in Cape Town in South Africa. And I'm here with Nitesh Singh, who is the MD for Accenture's business that covers communications, media, and technologies in Africa.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, great to have you here. So today we're talking a bit about AI. So I'm interested in your thoughts on what the key elements are when it comes to harnessing AI for African businesses.
So I think if you think about Africa and where AI is at present, so there's a lot of hype. I think it's exploded in the last few months, and I think what African businesses need to understand is to educate themselves and to skill themselves up on, generative AI and what value it can bring for their business. I think doing AI for the sake of AI is not something I would recommend, but it's almost trying to get the value story right. How's it going to impact the business at a fundamental level?
Yeah. I know you recently had a report that was about generative AI.
Yes.
What are kind of the main trends there and how it's impacting local businesses in this space?
Yeah, so I think if you think about local businesses, with cloud now, you can tap into AI that large corporates would have had access to many years ago. So, for local businesses, they can do predictive analytics, and the algorithms that AI comes with can empower their businesses. And they also the access to this technology for small businesses is there now. And I think a lot of local businesses should start to really understand how they should implement it in their business. But it's accessible, it's there, they need to start using it.
Yeah, so what would you say are the practical applications maybe for crucial sectors like the ones you cover?
Yeah, so if I look at, the communication sector, if I look at we work with a lot of the large network operators in Africa. And if you look at predictive analytics, AI on the network is constantly learning. If you think about practically, you're having outages and things like that. Artificial intelligence on the network is going to mean a self-healing network. So making sure that customers like yourself have good quality network speeds wherever you go, and it's constantly learning. So that's in kind of the sector what you'll start seeing. Obviously, there's driverless cars now. I know in San Francisco, you can actually call up a driverless car now, and you can actually take drives in these things. And again, it's learning constantly about speeds and the road and better driving patterns. It's all about patterns at the end of the day. So, there's tons of useful applications now that's coming out. But in my sector, the network one is a key one. Yeah.
In terms of African telcos, are we seeing them embracing AI yet, or do you think that's something that's going to come in 2024, 2025?
So Paula, I've been traveling a lot over the last 6 months around Africa, and many of them have embraced it. They've already starting to use AI on the network level. So the likes of MTN, Vodacom, they already, they're far down the AI journey, I would think, in terms of these use cases that I spoke about earlier. And I think the other thing is to educate their organizations about these as well. So practically, I think the network operators, they've already started using them. As Accenture, we run a number of contact centers, cloud contact centers, and with the likes of Genesis. And, we have predictive analytics and AI in these contact centers now. So, predicting what a customer may need, based on the flow of whatever issue they're facing. And the AI components are starting to understand and learn about that now.
Yeah, that's very interesting. It's nice to see that they're embracing it a bit.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the governance challenges when it comes to things like data privacy for consumers and for enterprises?
So that's a great question. I think data privacy, when you think of governing AI, and there's different levels, right? So earlier today, we spoke to a number of ministers, and we spoke about governance and policy control. And when you think of artificial intelligence, you need to have policy and governance around artificial intelligence. Like you're saying, from a data perspective, the most important thing is a customer's data.
Yeah.
I mean, your data is private. It should be private. And you need to govern how these algorithms start to use your data and what your data is being exposed to. So, creating the right governance framework is critical. And you need effective policies to govern that going forward now.
Yeah. And then I'm just interested, how do you see the future being impacted, by the convergence of cloud, the metaverse, AI, all kind of collapsing the boundaries?
That's interesting. I wouldn't say I'm a futurist, but I think what is starting to happen. Look, so earlier this year, I was in Mobile World Congress, and there was a lot of discussion around the ethical use of AI. And what does this mean for humans? And will it replace jobs? And there's a lot of that fear factor out there. Now, I'm one of those who don't believe it's going to do that. I think what you'll find is human beings will start to embrace and work closer with these technologies. And I actually think that if you embrace it in the right way, then you'll actually create employment rather than employment, being lost to AI. Now, the convergence that's happening, when you look at cloud, when you look at artificial intelligence, and all these factors, what I'm seeing now is that the accessibility is there for, a high school kid. To have access to technologies that a mega corporate would have had. Now, the benefit of that is the entrepreneurship and the ideas and the business models that come out of that little garage could rival something anywhere in the world now. So for me, when I look at all these technologies, it's really getting closer to people at home now. And it's not just stuck in the hands of big corporates anymore and in big organizations. So I'm pretty bullish around, futuristic technology and what's happening around us. And AI is part of that journey. And I'm positive about it having a positive impact on the world. But obviously there are right frameworks around it. But I'm very positive that it's going to actually enable all of us to be more effective with our lives, actually.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited to see the future of AI and how things change going forward. But I think we'll leave it there. Thanks very much to Nitesh Singh, who's Accenture Africa's MD.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.